Okay, friends, here we go. My name is Mariah, and I have been meaning to start this YouTube channel for a long time. I used to be all over Instagram and Facebook. I used to do videos with a friend, always had a blast. But I got to the point where I got so tired of all the algorithms, and then the next thing came, and TikTok came, and Threads, and I was like, I can't keep up. I'm so done with this. So I pretty much haven't done much on social media. But then obviously I started my own business, which I will share more about. And I realized you still need social media, smarty pants. But after I had a lot of conversations, a lot of people in the same field as me recommended to try YouTube. And I was, yes, I'm gonna do that. But somehow it always ended up at the bottom of my list or on the top of my list, but I would find an excuse to do anything else but this. And I don't really know why. I don't understand what the difference is. But anyways, today I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna start. So today, all I'm going to do is share a little bit with you about myself. Who am I? What can you expect here? And what is Mariah.ca all about? So once again, my name is Mariah. I am 47 years old. I am neurodivergent. I have diagnosed ADHD, OCD, a lot of fun other things that I will save for later, and probably autism, but I didn't want to get the official diagnosis because there's no benefit really to having it as an adult, and I didn't want to spend $2,800 just to have a doctor tell me that I have it. So that is me in a nutshell. I'm born and raised in the Netherlands. I moved to Canada in 2012 with my husband, my then 2-year-old son, and I was pregnant with number 2. Currently, we live on Vancouver Island and we have 3 beautiful children. We have my oldest son is Jake, he's 14. Then my daughter Sky, who is 12, and the youngest is Dakota, and they are 10. We have 2 dogs, Frankie Labradoodle, who is almost 10. Yeah, almost 10. And Freya, that's my emotional support dog, Freya the French Bulldog, and she just turned 2. And then we also have a bearded dragon. So think about all that, and then think about a mobile home, single wide, just under 1,000 square foot, and that's where we are. So it's never a dull moment here. I am originally after school. So when I was young, really my dream was to become a professional dancer. But in my head, there was only one ballet academy that was good enough. And I never would have made it in there. I was a lot slimmer then, but my shoulders were already too broad, too athletically built. So that was just never going to happen. So then suddenly I was like, okay, now what? So I wanted to get into acting. My mom really wasn't a fan of that. So very late in the game, I had to think of, okay, what am I going to do next? I really loved art. I made a lot of art. So I thought I was going to become an art designer. But then I was right at the cusp where things changed digitally. And clearly, I am not the biggest fan of digital working with computers. So I did go to that school, but I ended up going more like the window dressing direction and the interior design direction. So then after school, I worked for myself as a window dresser for a couple of years, and then interior designer. I've done lots. I'm sure we'll unpack all of that later on. So, but by trade, I'm an interior designer. While doing my interior design work, I always joked with people, like, especially with couples, like it's almost like you're the counselor when you're doing interiors for people, because there's not a lot of people that are fully aligned on what they want. More than not, they're quite opposite, and I have to somehow find the middle where they both enjoy their home and, you know, make it feel like home for both of them. So I used to joke about that, and then obviously things happened. My kids, it became clear that they were neurodivergent. I started therapy myself, the kids, so I was involved with a lot of different kind of therapies and counseling. And then in, I want to say 2016, I was at a convention and I saw this little write-up and I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. I had no clue what I walked into, and it was aroma freedom. So I sat down with a friend. I think she might have read a little more of what was about to happen. I did not. And it was a traumatic memory release technique, and I was blown away. The whole thing was a 3-hour session, but we did the traumatic memory release first, then we had a break, and then we did regular aroma freedom. And so for me, what popped up, so it was the moment that my aunt had to tell me that my dad died. I was 11 years old. My dad was 40. And that moment was one moment where I always I could speak about it, but I would choke up right away. And I just, everything in me would just tense. And it was just, there's a lot of emotional charge around that memory. So when they asked me to pop a memory in my head, that popped up. And then, so what happens is you have to connect it with things in your body. So you'd have to connect that memory with a feeling, where you feel it in your body. And then you have to think of a different memory where you felt the same. And it's weird because sometimes those memories in your head, because we are so up in our heads. So we're in my head, and ADHD. So I'm overthinking, well, why would this memory make up? That makes no sense, blah, 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 blah. But I went with it, and then you smell oil, and then you pause, and then the thing is you rate. So before we started, I had the memory up, and I have to rate it from 0 to 10. 0 is nothing, totally fine. 10 is you're in that same place. You're terrified, whatever the feelings are, or you could be somewhere in the middle. And I remember, I think I rated at an 8. And then after that first round of connecting it in our bodies, smelling the oil, rating it again, I think I went down to 5 and then to a 2 after. It only took 2 rounds. And now, obviously, we don't erase memories, but the emotional charge is completely gone. I can think of it, I can talk about it, and nothing gets tense. The whole throat thing is gone. So I knew right then, okay, this is what I need. Specifically for people who, like me, struggle with words. I thought this is amazing, because we were in a group. I mean, he asked, anybody wants to share? You could, you didn't have to. And with my clients, I always say, if you want to share with me, that's fine, but you don't have to. So sometimes I have no clue what's going on. All I focus on is on their body language and on their rating. And it's mind-blowing, and it's lasting. So I knew I wanted to do that. So I got my certification, and I became a certified aroma freedom therapist. I have been certified since 2017, and I absolutely love it. But I do find that it's still very unknown. People are a little bit skeptic. I usually say, just try it. It will never hurt you. Just give it a go. But I am planning a little event where people can come and try it at a lower rate, just for people to experience it. So then later, I've always been interested in counseling and psychiatric and psychology. It's always I've always chosen that as my extra courses through school. And so last year, I guess, time flies. Yeah, it was last year, April, I hit the so-called brick wall. I am go, 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 go all the time. And I basically have been that for as long as I can remember. Even so, when my dad died, I remember we took probably a week, and we just went back to work, back to school, back doing all the things. And that's how I've lived my life. And so, but now, having 3 neurodivergent kids, and perimenopause hit, and it hit hard, and I hit the brick wall, and I had to stop. Everything was what I was doing. I really took a few months where I didn't work, didn't do nothing, and then I had to just really reassess, what is important, what do I enjoy doing, what can I do without overloading myself and adding too much on my plate, because I will always say yes to everything. And that's when I decided, because I was still homeschooling my kids, so I was going to go back to school and get my counseling degree. So I'm halfway through that now, which is very exciting. So I opened my own business. It's called Mariah. And so what I offer there is interior design, but I've narrowed it down to the smaller projects. I don't do the big projects anymore. And I do the smaller projects, and I also often combine it with counseling or aroma freedom. So think of downsizing. helping your parents downsize, downsizing yourself. It can be hard emotionally, letting go of things, and what do we do? And so I help with that. I'll make sure that your new place looks amazing with a few, really important pieces that you bring with, and I will help you letting go of the other items. And the other thing is organizing. Organizing is key, and especially for neurodivergent people, we love it, but we're really bad at it. And there's often a lot of shame and guilt around. Like, at least everybody has a junk drawer, but I know people that have a junk cabinet, a junk closet, or a junk room, or a junk garage, or just a junk house, and that's okay. But I can help you there. So I can attack one drawer, I can attack your pantry, or whatever it is you need help with. We work through it together. And again, you see how it sort of links with counseling, and that's what I love about it, that my life kind of came full circle. And I make floor plans still. I do shopping. There's some people, believe it or not, that don't like shopping. So I do it for them. And then what happens is you'll get a list of items. Sometimes there'll be choices like, but only 2, like A or B. Prices are there, and it makes it very easy for you. And then I have my aroma freedom that I offer, and I just started offering regular talk therapy as well at a discounted rate, since I'm still going through my final months of college. And I have my regular art. Unfortunately, not a lot yet. It still feels really scary for me to put it out there, and I just don't have the time that I wish I had to work on pieces. Anyways, so in here, I'll be sharing with you all different parts of my life, different parts of work. So I'll be talking about, obviously, neurodivergency. I'll be talking about counseling. I'll be talking about aroma freedom. I will be talking interior design. I'll definitely be talking about LGBTQ. I have a trans daughter. So yeah, we've got lots to talk about together. So I hope you'll join me, and yay for me for doing it. The first video is here. Okay, guys. Nice to meet you all, and I hope to chat with you again soon. Bye.